I'm not feeling too great, so instead of confronting my problems, I decided to talk about something I loathe as a way to vent my emotions. Oh boy, here we go. I really like animated movies. Okay, that's an understatement. I love animated movies. They can be some of the most beautiful, entertaining, and powerful films. Films like Spirited Away that have incredible and powerful messages within them, and they don't even need to say anything to convey them. Or films like Inside Out or Anomalisa that take a new and interesting take on animation and storytelling. Or even films like Kubo and the Two Strings that are animated via stop motion, which is just gorgeous. It's my favorite genre of film, and tons of companies make some really good films. I'm sure you've heard of them. There's ones like Disney, Laika I heard is pretty good. They made some good movies. Studio Ghibli. Oh no. I have a complicated relationship with Illumination Animation. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I hate every single one of their films and they ruin the art of animation. When their first movie, Despicable Me, came out in 2010, I was mildly excited about it. I mean, back then, I didn't even know there were other companies aside from Studio Ghibli and Disney that made animated movies. And then I watched it. It was pretty good. It wasn't anything special, but it wasn't awful. Then they made Hop. And you know, I never watched that one. And for good reason, because it's awful. It's just a movie about Easter. But you know, for kids! You gotta market to those young people now so you can make money. But the company wasn't satisfied with that movie. They had to make a movie, or a movie franchise or something, and make them so much money, they don't even know what to do with it. And then they did. No, not that! There you go. The second Despicable Me debuted in summer 2013, and I went to go see it in theaters, which was a mistake, because it's literally the Cars 2 Illumination, but much worse. Much worse. Why? Oh, you know, because the minions are suddenly all over the place because they know they sell toys. The girls are turned into just cute machines because they don't need character to keep the kids from being entertained. Lucy is massively annoying, and there's just no charm? Like, at all? Like, the first one didn't have a lot of charm either, but at least it told a story that was somewhat heartwarming. The characters are likable, and the studio actually, you know, tried. This was when Illumination realized they didn't need to try to make good movies to make money. They just kept pumping out trite movies every year because they know people are going to watch the movies regardless of how good they are. And then Disney picked up on that when they started making live action remakes of movies that were already good, didn't need remakes. But let's not talk about that right now. And then they decided to make the movie Minions. And I vividly remember the day when we had to go see it. You see, when Minions came out, my mama caught a deadly disease known as I have zero taste. And I like watching small yellow men who totally aren't a mockery on the Jews at concentration camps run around with no pants on. Or just, she had an obsession with Minions. She came into my room a few days after the release of the movie and said, "Come on, let's go see Minions!" And me, as the sensible 9-year-old I was, didn't want to go see it. But my mom said, "Well, you have to. We aren't leaving you here alone. I bet you'll laugh at least once." And then we went to go see it. And 5 minutes in, I laughed. I still haven't forgiven myself for that. This movie exists for one reason, and one reason only. To make a lot of money. But Lionel, isn't that how all movies are made? No, it's not. There are tons of movies that, yeah, have the idea of money in mind, but are still made with a ton of heart and passion because they cared about what they were making. And felt like that, yes, this was a story that needed to be told. People need to see and hear this story. Illumination never did that. They just shat out a stupid movie with no plot structure or even understanding how to make a movie, but they released it anyways because they already knew it was going to make a lot of money. And they did. They made a lot. Way too much. Like way too much money. Then, 2 years later, they released another movie. And I mean this wholeheartedly. I absolutely despise this film with every ounce of my being. I hate this movie so much. It is the worst movie I've ever seen, and trust me, I've seen a lot of bad movies. Like a lot. But none of them compare to how bad this movie is. I mean, to be fair, this is probably super biased considering what I'm about to say about it. But that doesn't make me hate it any less. And I remember thinking, what kind of movie could possibly be this bad and make you hate it so much? It must be really bad. Must be like downright despicable. Get it? I hate this movie. I hate it. 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 Now, I know what you must be thinking. It doesn't look too bad. Why do you hate it so much? Well, I'll tell you why I hate it so much. Because this movie is ripped off of Zootopia. I love Zootopia. I love it so much. It is the best Disney movie, hands down. And no, it's not because it's the freaking furry movie. It touches on discrimination in a realistic and interesting way that you don't see very often with animals. And as a mixed person who looks predominantly black, seeing an animated movie, which I love, and seeing animals walking on 2 legs, which I also love, touching on racial discrimination in a way that feels natural and makes sense was really cool for me. Zootopia, the city in the movie, is beautifully and masterfully crafted. They worked it in, the fur is just beautiful. The character design is amazing, the characters in general are amazing and likable, with one exception that they screwed up. Talking about you, Jenny Slate! And aside from the villain, the story is masterfully done as a buddy cop flick, but with animals. It's an amazing movie and it totally deserves the Oscar it got. And then Sing came out in December, in the same year, and I feel like the pitch for Sing went a little something like this. The Illumination movie team were trying to figure out a movie to make, and they were kind of on like a tight budget. They couldn't think of anything good for their next movie, and then the CEO comes in, he's like, guys, Disney just released this new movie called Zootopia. And the whole team goes, so? How's that gonna help us? And then the CEO plastered the movie onto a whiteboard and was like, what if we remade it? But instead, we put in a bunch of well-known pop songs in the advertisements, but in the actual movie, we only use the songs for 2 seconds and then hire a bunch of A-list celebrities to do voice acting. And we call it Sing. And then the entire room stood up and clapped, and he got a standing ovation. And then they all got to work. Like you can't tell me this movie isn't a ripoff of Zootopia. Even the main characters are the same colors. This movie's plot consists of one thing, and one thing only. Popular music. And that's it. Does the music drive the plot like a musical? No. Is it used in an interesting way to set the tone of the movie, like in Guardians of the Galaxy? No. The only reason the music is there, aside from making money, is for the singing competition the movie's about. That is the laziest way to integrate popular songs into a movie. And the songs don't even progress the story any way, shape, or form. They're only there because they know people will watch it just to hear those well-known songs. And the number one thing that I hate about this movie, aside from everything else about it, is that there's no reason for the characters to be animals. At least in something like Zootopia, the whole point of them being animals not only drives the story, but also conveys the character's personality. When you look at someone like, say, Nick, you can tell exactly what he's about just by looking at him. A sly, calm man. And the fact that he's a fox adds to that because the foxes are known for their cunning, which also ties into the story because of the prejudice predators face with the whole history of prey and predators have, being that predators used to eat prey. And it ties into the arc too, with
if the world's only gonna see a fox as shifty and untrustworthy, there's no point in trying to be anything else.
That's really compelling. Sing doesn't have a single tidbit of that heart in it. Why are they animals? What's the point of them being animals? What can you tell me about the pig character by her design? Or the koala? Or the sheep? Nothing? Yeah, that's what I frickin' thought. The designers don't tell you anything about their character. Only design that kinda does this is the elephant, who I forgot the name of because I'm not looking up this movie. I don't want to watch it because her ears cover her face and the way she carries herself shows that she's shy. But do they do anything with that? No, not really. She doesn't go through an arc, she just gets the confidence to sing.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
Out of nowhere and just sings. The only character that goes through an arc is the gorilla. Or I guess his name is Johnny. I think that's his name, I don't know. That's how Illumination tricks you! They put one good aspect in the movie. For this one, it's the one character arc for Johnny. And they don't try with anything else. What about the koala? He's a terrible person. It doesn't change or grow at all throughout the movie. Same for the mouse. None of the characters that should actually get an arc. Because Illumination doesn't care about good character writing. They know they'll make money because regardless of how good the movie is, they're still going to make a ton of money. And they did. This movie made a lot of money. Like a lot. If you want a more in-depth video on why Sing is just terrible, as well as highlighting why I hate it so much a bit more, then just go watch IHG's video on it, because it goes a lot deeper into just how bad that movie is. And also it'll just tell you, you know, just my reasoning behind why I hate it so much. No one's been able to say it better than he can, so just give it a watch. The fact that this movie not only came out in the same year, but has somewhat of the same premise, just tells me that this movie was only made as a way to cash in on the popularity of animal characters in films. Do I have any proof that this movie is a copy of Zootopia aside from that? No, but it is a bit suspicious, don't you think? Again, just watch IHG's video on it and you'll see what I mean. I'm done talking about this movie. I can't even right now. Please just let the pain end. I know this video is coming from a 15-year-old dude who's writing comics for a living, but please, just stop watching Illumination's movies. When you watch their movies, you're supporting them and their terrible, terrible films. There are so many better movies that come out around the same time as theirs, but they always get overshadowed because most people watch Illumination's trash over anyone else's. Secret Life of Pets overshadowed The Queen's Corgi, which was a way better film with so much more charm and enthusiasm that felt more genuine than anything Illumination has dumped out on the daily. Watch niche films. Watch indie films. And I know this is ironic coming from someone who watches Marvel movies and Marvel-led things more than anything else, but this is different. Unlike Marvel, which is live action, Illumination, Disney, DreamWorks, all those companies and more are animated. Animation isn't taken seriously at all by places like the Academy Awards, even though they very much should be. And the stigma that animation is just for kids has stuck so much in the West because of companies like Illumination making terrible, terrible animated films, which are marketed to kids. But just because something is mostly marketed towards children doesn't automatically make it the entire genre just for children. Animation is a beautiful and wonderful way to tell a story. Just about any story can work as an animated film, just because of how versatile it is as a format. But people constantly say it's just for kids when it's not. Animation can and is for everyone. It can teach powerful and informal messages, like telling others of the horrors of human technology and what it can do to countries and families, or be a fun, whimsical film highlighting the wonders of childhood, or touch on racial discrimination in a realistic light while still being a fun flick about anthro-animals. Illumination doesn't care about the artistic value of their films. They only make movies with the idea of money in mind, and you watching their films is helping them win you over with their terrible films, as well as just ruining the way animation is perceived in the West, as well as all around the world. They don't care about whether their films are actually good or not, or what morals they teach, or what type of messages their films send. They just make movies for money, and that's it. And they make a lot of money with their films, and I'm telling you that this needs to stop! Stop watching their movies! And I know that, yeah, I can't stop you from doing what you want, but at least take my advice and stop watching and supporting their films. If you're a film critic or just really want to see their movies, then just pirate them. They don't deserve your money, so don't watch their movies. It'll take a while, I'm sure, but hopefully people will start to see just how beautiful and amazing animation is, and start to take it seriously, because it deserves it. So stop watching Illumination's films, and let real talent and artful films shine, without the dark grime of Illumination. Stop supporting the scum of their company, and give animation the attention and respect it deserves. Hey, so thanks for watching my video. This was a bit more like video essay-y like my other video I posted about character design, and it's of a topic I've really wanted to talk about for a while, so I hope you guys like it. I don't know, I don't think anybody watches my videos aside from my friends. Well, I'm glad you made it this far. I hope this video doesn't get claimed because I spent 2 days on it. Also, my voice gets more monotone the farther you go into the video because I have family over, and I really wanted to finish this and get this out there, so that's why I sound kind of bored halfway through, because I didn't want to be too loud so they wouldn't suspect anything. So, yeah, don't watch Illumination's movies. Hope you stay around for more videos. I don't know. I'm gonna try and get back into it, like I said before, so let's see where this goes.